You can feel that every day something gets a little bit different in Australia. We already know about how many people are losing their jobs, and we already know about the overall threat that is there when it comes to the virus. Now, I am all about hope over fear. I am all about believing that the average Australian is decent. But there is something that we have to deal with, and we're going to talk about this a bit tonight. Can we actually cope with what's coming? Are we as Australians going to be able to cope with being cooped up for weeks on end, where the only outlet is to be able to go to the shops? The majority of people, sure. But there are a very significant minority of people who are either nasty or stupid or a combination of the both. Look at this woman whose job it is to work in a supermarket. She needed to be consoled by a customer because she's had enough. She's had enough of being barked at, about being yelled at, about being pushed around, about being treated like dirt and like the help. The truth is, after something like a terrorist attack, we talk about the first responders being the brave men and women who run towards a disaster. The people who are the first responders of what we are going through right now and will remain the first responders of what we are going into in the next few weeks are people like that lady, are people like the truck drivers, are people like the medical professionals, are people like the police, are people who are going to keep this country going. I really do hope that people will be able to take this in their stride. As I prepare for this show every single day, I try to soak up as much information as out there as possible, including, for better or worse, I have to wade into many of the opinions that exist about coronavirus, about how to deal with it. We are literally having a debate in Australia between everything should lock down or 30 minutes for a haircut isn't enough. There are two Australias that seem to be going on, with the forgotten Australia being the people who are losing their jobs every day, who are watching us tonight, scared about knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. That third group is so desperately underrepresented. And they're not getting the attention that they deserve. They're not getting the support that they need. Because the services that we've been put in place to help those people and to help people who genuinely are needed when it comes to medical issues, well, they are dealing with crap like this. We learned today that people are calling 000, the emergency number, to say things like this. One man called 000 because a bat flew into his window. My whole family is scared and worried about this new disease that's out there, and now they don't know what they can do about it. Now we can't leave the house. My family is just worried about the virus because they don't want to catch it or anything, he said. The poor person on the other end of the 000 phone call said that the man had nothing to worry about and that this was not how the virus works. Are these people dumb or stupid? A couple from Hurstville called because they walked past an Asian couple with suitcases and they were worried that they'd been exposed to the virus. A man called because he wanted to know whether he could go to work or not, or whether Sydney was in lockdown. It's a really serious thing to think about. Are we ready for what's coming? For all the people who are cheering and chanting for a lockdown, that's fine because you probably live in a mansion. You are guaranteed to be able to have an experience of a lockdown that's going to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger's. Sit in the spa, have a stogie, or play with your miniature horse. You'll be able to retire to your cinema room. But there's an awful lot of people in Australia who don't have such luxuries, who are not particularly excited at the thought of being locked at home with a partner that they don't trust, may not attack them. People who see work as their purpose in life being denied it, or being cooped up next to a kooky neighbour who causes hell all night and all day, regardless of whether you have a sleeping baby or not. We have to talk about this. Is Australia genuinely ready to cope with what's coming? So to the people who answer 000, the people who help us at the supermarkets, thank you. There are more good than bad, but by God, you're dealing with a lot of bad at the moment.